Getting out with the camera whilst enjoying a beautiful sunrise is one of my favourite aspects of landscape photography, yet my success rate during golden hour has been few and far between in 2025. Where on earth has that glorious morning light disappeared to, or is it just a case that I'm looking in the wrong place at the wrong time? This morning's photography trip brings me out to a local spot not too far from home, Lower Halstow on the River Medway during low tide, with boats my main subject of choice to try and capture with the camera today. Hello and welcome to another video. I thought to myself, if there's one location where I stand a chance of getting a surprise sunrise, one where I least expect it, is this location here at Lower Halstow. You're probably thinking, Neil, why? Why would this be the perfect location for an unexpected sunrise? You see, when I came here last year, came out here for the first time, one of those days where I thought to myself, okay, sunrise isn't going to happen, so don't bother trying to prepare for it. You know me, when I go out in the mornings, I'm always going out preparing for a sunrise, always expect the unexpected, of course. But this morning that I came out to Lower Halstow, I thought to myself, don't bother, it's not going to happen, there's no point trying it. So I'm standing here, shooting over this little harbour. Sunrise is happening way off over towards the left, towards the right, I should say. Well, that's where it should have come up. And I thought to myself, no, it's never going to come, it's never going to happen. So I'm shooting this scene here in front of me, a very different day. The tide was up, the boats were nestling beautifully on the water. And all of a sudden, this absolutely perfect light show happened. It was beautiful. And all these colours just hitting the sky over towards the left of the shot. It was a beautiful morning, it really was. Ended up getting a lovely shot of the sunrise. Of course, had I known that sunrise was coming, I probably would have been in a different position altogether. Instead, I got a little bit lucky that day. So with me coming back to Lower Halstow, I thought I could try and replicate that image that I captured last year. Well, not entirely replicate it. The water has long receded, it's low tide. I won't be seeing it back in for a good few hours. But we've got this rickety old pier. Beautiful shot that just allows me to use the jetty as this little leading line into the scene in the background. All these boats left marooned by the receding tide. Just beautiful. I could have done with a sunrise this morning, but it looks a little bit too cloudy. I'm just not getting the right amount of luck with sunrise at the moment, albeit it's still a beautiful scene. I'm set up on the tripod, and you're probably wondering, Neil, why are you on the tripod? It's low tide. I'm not going to be able to shoot a long exposure today. However, of course, it's still early in the morning. Get some lovely light this morning. It's a bit cloudy, which is probably stopping the sunrise light. It just means that I can shoot at my favourite ISO of 100. It means that on the tripod I can go with a nice slow shutter speed at the same time. I think this is going to be a shot where I'm exposure bracketing over maybe 3, maybe 4 shots, starting out at 1/8 of a second, then leading on to 1/15 of a second, 1/30 of a second, and then ending at 1/60 of a second. The latter shot I probably could shoot handheld, but the early shots, it's just better to avoid the risk. But that wasn't too bad. The sun came up, created a lovely little bit of yellow light above the clouds. So fingers crossed I managed to get some good shots. But yeah, this year, 2025, it's not been my lucky year for getting out and capturing sunrise. I've had my moments at Primrose Hill up in London on the banks of the River Medway in my hometown of Rochester. But if I'm being honest, I could probably count on my hands, on just one hand, how many times this year I've been lucky, how many times I've been lucky enough to get out, get a beautiful sunrise. Of course, it doesn't stop me from ever trying. It comes back to the 1%, 0% that I keep talking about. 0% chance of going out and capturing a sunrise if I stay home, 1% chance of getting a sunrise if I at least take the risk and head out. But I was on my way here this morning. There wasn't even any colour in the sky. I imagine it was because it was a little bit too cloudy, but even then it didn't look too bad. I suppose in some ways it's just how the penny drops on occasion. Now, I may not have the golden hour conditions, but this scene here in front of me is a great example of how you don't need the golden hour conditions to come out and get good photos. Beautiful scene here in front of me. One last shot, I think. I've got these two boats over here. I've got a tree just over to the right. Just trying to work out how to get them into one single composition. Might have to move around and shoot over in that direction. But of course, with the good light now, the sun is above the clouds, but with the good light, it means that I don't have to rely on the tripod. Tripods, of course, can be a little bit cumbersome when you're trying to get the composition. Get a bit frustrating because you can't get the right position where you want to be, whereas when you're shooting handheld, it's just your feet that you've got to worry about. Might not be able to shoot at ISO 100 either, but they're the sacrifices that you sometimes have to make, aren't they? I think this will be another exposure bracket. 3 shots, a 2-second timer, and hopefully this scene, I'll have something to share with you in just a second. I think in hindsight, I've captured quite a few images exposure bracketing today. Of course, it means that when I get home and I'm editing in Lightroom, I can get as much detail out in both the highlights and the shadows. Fingers crossed, I've been able to capture a few shots worth sharing with you today. I think I've got 1 or 2 that I'm really happy with. However, I think I'm going to bring this video to a close and head back home. As always, it's lovely having you along with me, and I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. However, until next week, it leaves me to say from me to you, goodbye.